What's up? We're Fall Out Boy, and you're watching our most requested live Ask Anything chat. Our new song is called Love from the Other Side. And thanks to Romeo and iHeartRadio for having us on the show tonight. Haley from Evanston, Illinois says, Hi, I was really curious about how you guys plan out your set lists. If that process has changed over the years. I was at the Metro, and it was easily my favorite set by any Fall Out Boy show I've ever been to. I caught the interview where Patrick mentioned Head for a Slide on tour. We'll see. So how do we pick the sets? I think we kind of will see. So for our bigger tours where we have a lot of production, lots of times the set is set to the time code for the lights and for the video. So a lot of it is we've rehearsed it and rehearsed the moves, and especially when there's
not just us, like the fire people and the lights and everything. It's like everybody, you know.
Yeah. So especially when there's fire and other like kind of like the dangerous moves, we've rehearsed it a lot to the set, like Patrick said, and yeah, we're talking about what our set list is, and we'll see. We're debating it, and we'll see what it is for the next year. I guess I don't know. We're trying to work to the point where we can work in like deeper cuts, and when we play smaller shows, play some stuff that we haven't played in a long time. So we're thinking about you. Ginny from London, UK says, "How long does it take for your bodies to adjust to being home after tour?" Listen, I think this is probably different for everybody because obviously everybody experiences it all differently. I think that one of the things that we've gotten very good at is like these kind of I think about them like smash and grab missions, like where you go in, you go out quick, and that means either you do adjust to the time and then adjust quickly back, or you just kind of we get in, we play the shows, we meet people who are in the areas, kind of experience the food, and then get back and get right back on the time with our families and get back to work at home. So I think that's one of the things that I think we've gotten, or at least I've gotten much better at. So not very long at all. Megan from California says, in the past, your album covers followed this alternating color scheme of blue and red, but then Mania switched it up and was purple. How did you decide on the color scheme for the new album? Listen, so for the new album, we talked less about color scheme and more about, listen, we're in a world where it's like a relentlessly digital world, right? Like, so there's, avatars and skins and NFTs. And so when we were talking about making the album cover, we wanted to make something that was super tangible, art that you could actually touch and put on the wall. So the font is actually made out of clay, so that's just clay, and then the picture is an oil painting, and so it was just meant to be something that you could touch, and hopefully we can someday do some kind of experiential thing, maybe different than the Mania experience for those of you guys who were at it, but like something where you can actually touch the album cover and feel it. And I gotta say, I love the memed album covers where people are putting their pets on it, and I think that that's awesome and funny and hilarious, and I want to take part. So
I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. I don't want to get it wrong. Joan from Phoenix says, "Hello, my heroes. Thanks for that. Best wishes for so much for Stardust and your families for the tour. Do you also think it's possible to dust off some old songs from all the previous albums, those that are never played live?" Yeah, I think kind of Pete was touching on this already, but it's weird with the songs we don't play live as much. We definitely always consider that, and we always put something in the set. I feel like that's if you've seen us a lot of times, there's every tour there's a couple things that we sprinkle in, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, Pete, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like Patrick said, and I think that we played this little Metro show and played a couple songs that I thought were, like I was like, oh man, we're gonna play this, and it's like we wrote it so long ago, it might be like a little weird and like kind of feel juvenile. And then when we played it, it was interesting to see how Patrick sang it, like how he sings now, and Andy plays drum. Like it was just like it was Fall Out Boy 2023 playing it, and it felt like a new incarnation of the song, which was cool. It gave the song like a different texture.
It also made you forget because you're like, wow, I didn't realize we haven't played this song in 15 years. So you're like, it didn't feel that long. You're like, oh yeah, yeah, I remember. We play this song all the time. We play this song all the time. And you're like, oh no, that has been a long time actually. Asher from Blairsville, Pennsylvania. I love all the movie references in your songs, and I was wondering what your favorite horror movie is. Ah, interesting. Well, I guess I'll start. My personal favorite horror movie. It's tough because I don't think people really think of it as a horror movie. I just think of it as like the scariest movie I saw when I was a kid is definitely Alien, the first one. I love Alien. It's kind of singular and perfect, and I don't need any. I mean, the sequels are great and everything, but like that first Alien is perfect and very creepy and very unsettling and very scary. Pete, Andy.
I
Uh,
liked your call. I'm with you on Alien.
I think for me, it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Very scary. Annabelle from Austria asks, hearing your music and seeing you play inspired me to start learning guitar when I thought I was already too old. So thank you. Not really a question, but that's awesome. I think it's never too late to pick up an instrument and follow your passion. I mean, whatever that may be. So you're never too old. Carisha from South Africa asks, how did it feel getting to work with Neil Avron for the first time since Fully I Do? Um, I mean, for me, it was amazing. It was just like no time had passed. Super comfortable right off the bat. He's such a brilliant guy. And I mean, for me personally, as a drummer, he really pushes me, to get, the perfect take and have everything, every hit be equally balanced. And, if there's dynamic changes to really concentrate on that. So it's really great working with him because it's also such a challenge. Anyone else have anything to say about that?
Yeah, he's incredible. It was kind of one of those things. I really wanted to savor this record. I think that's one of the mania. I I I think we were kind of experimenting with what you can do with the record, moving quickly, and playing around with what you can do in a computer and that kind of stuff. Like I would take Andy's drum parts and cut them up and change the speed and whatever and affect them in weird ways and just things like that. I was really experimenting with that, and I was like, that was really fun, but we kind of did that. And I wanted to go back to not go back, but I wanted to try something because Neil is so um you know I guess like tactile. Like he gets into like the head of the drum, like he gets into what kind of pick you're using on your guitar. Like it all matters. And so I wanted to get back to something like that where it's really yeah, really focused, and it was a total blast. It was awesome. It's exactly what I was hoping for.
Sophie from Ohio asked, which tracks were the first and last ones to produce from So Much for Stardust? Um, I mean, I can't even remember for me personally what I recorded when. It was kind of recorded over a long period of time. Patrick?
Yeah, so there's a song. I don't know if I can say the names yet, Pete. I don't know. I never know what I'm allowed to reveal. But there's a song.
Let it rip. You're good.
Let her rip. Okay. There's a song. It's kind of a toss up between actually two songs. There's a song "What a Time to Be Alive" and a song called "So Good Right Now." And those two were kind of floating out there. Like we had kind of started, but it was like we weren't really ready for a record yet, so we were kind of like playing around with it. And so those songs I think started getting written and recorded. Some version of those songs got recorded maybe like 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago. Um, and then the last one, I think the last one written was Love from the Other Side. It was one of those things where after we looked at the whole record, after we had the whole thing, you kind of sit back, you're like, it's almost like an overture. You're like, what is the overall statement of the entire thing? And so that was what became Love from the Other Side.
Sarah from Liverpool, England says, this is the first time I'll see you live, and I love the set list you do. It'd be great to hear some deeper cuts. I'm guessing you'll be seeing us somewhere in the UK when we're on the European tour. that leaves us a lot of time to learn a song or two, a deeper cut. Yeah, we try to think about a set that will flow, whether we're in an arena, or a set that will flow when we're in a small club, and they're obviously different. But this is our headline tour, so we have a little more wiggle room than we probably did on Hella Mega. So I'd expect to see more songs in general. Marina from Ontario says, I got a dog named Wentz. What do you think? Seems pretty cool, I guess. I feel like yelling that name at a dog, like, Wentz, no, get down. Yeah, that works. It feels like it would also work for me. So
I want to know how. I want to know what the cute, because everybody got their cute nicknames for their dogs too. Like what is it? What does it morph into? You know, Wency. You know,
gotta be
when.
Wentz, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
When. That's funny. When. Sarah from Washington, D.C. says, Pete, when you did the epic stage dive during Love from the Other Side at the Metro show, had you planned it beforehand? Or was it a more in the moment thing? Listen, we grew up going to hardcore shows and punk rock shows and little shows, and none of that I think is anything that you plan, right? Like it's like you're at the Fireside Bowl and they have a phone booth there and you're like, I could probably jump off of that. Like it's like all in the moment Arnold Terminator scanning, the like, this is a threat, that's not a threat, this is something I can jump off of, this is something I can floor punch to or windmill to. Yeah, I don't know if planning your stage dive the night before is a great idea in the same way that like planning an outfit is, because the outfit will for sure be there. The stage dive, you may want to probably make the call in the moment, I would think. But yeah, it was in the moment, and I'm just happy that nobody got hit by the bass. Thanks, Sarah.
Braden from Cincinnati. Patrick, did you actually get to meet Bruce Campbell for Black Friday? And will you continue to score movies and sing on them occasionally? Also, the Dead End Paranormal Park songs are amazing. Thank you. Yeah, so I didn't get to meet Bruce Campbell, but it was awesome getting to score him. He's really funny, and he's really funny on screen. So that was awesome. You get to spend a lot of time with somebody without actually meeting them. I feel like when you're scoring or you're editing, you're just watching somebody's performance for hours. So that was really fun and funny. And yeah, I mean, that's what I do most of the time when I'm not on stage or not in an interview or whatever. When I'm not with Fall Play, you don't see me with the guys. I'm probably scoring something. So that's kind of what I'm up to.
Hey, Anastasia from Los Angeles says, hi all, I absolutely adore the singles. Would you consider bringing a mini orchestra on tour for the orchestra moments? If so, where do I submit my violin audition? I think, and Patrick can probably speak to this, it would be awesome to do that. It would be awesome to do the biggest version of any of these songs live. At the same time, bringing even a mini orchestra on tour gets very expensive, and as things get more expensive, you know how it all works. Everybody knows how, I guess, that kind of thing works. But we would gladly take your violin submission here or wherever. Yeah, that's awesome. I think that'd be cool to see. Deanne from Knoxville, Tennessee says, on Hella Mega, how hot was it on stage with the flaming piano? Patrick can speak to this, I think. To me, it was very hot. He was even closer than I was.
The weird thing is because fire rises, right? So heat rises, right? So it was almost like the closer I was to it, the less I felt it. It was when I would get out from so I'm saying playing piano, I didn't notice at all. But then when I would get up and run around and come back to the piano, I'd be like, you get blasted with it. But that kind of for me kind of goes for all of the pyro. I feel like all the fire that's ever on stage, it's hotter like 10 feet away than it is like right next to it, because it just shoots right over you. And Pete also threw that in there because he thought I would be scared of it, and and I wasn't. So I don't know what we're doing on this tour.
The flaming piano was actually not my idea.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, that was not something. I know you want to continue the narrative of me scaring you, but I got some scary stuff for this tour. It's just not a flaming piano.
Great. I'm gonna get thrown out of a cannon again or something.
Thanks again for watching our Ask Anything chat with Romeo and Most Requested Live. Our new song, Love from the Other Side, is out, and we'll see you on the road real soon.